26 civil society organizations have declared today a national day of protest over the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. They had given the President of Nigeria an ultimatum to sign that bill. And now we have on the ground in Abuja at the Unity Fountain, our correspondent Georgina Ndukwe for the coverage of the civil society protest on President Buhari's delay in signing the revoked Electoral Bill. Georgina, good morning. What's the situation out there in Abuja?
Good morning to you.
Good morning. What's the situation there? What have you observed? What's going on?
Good morning. Thank you so much. Okay, right now, the civil society groups are gathering. They are taking the national anthem at the moment as a signaling the kicking off of the rally to protest the non-signed or the non-assent to the Electoral Bill by the President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, most of the groups here are saying that it is high time that the President yields to the demands of Nigerians, that he quickly puts his signature, appends his signature to the Electoral Bill sent to him by the National Assembly. The National Assembly have already fulfilled all his demands as he had, demanded for, which were the reasons for him not, assenting to the bill. So they are gathering today to push for the President's assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill.
Well, the National Assembly also went beyond what you described as demands there, but I'll leave that aside for now. Are the civil society organizations aware of assurances from the presidency that he will sign this bill? Are they aware and are they not convinced?
Well, they're not convinced because the time is already getting too close. We are very close to the 2023 general elections, and the bill should have been assented to by now to enable INEC prepare properly for the election. So they're saying that for him not to have assented to the bill at this time, that is something they're not telling Nigerians, and so that's why they are pushing for it to be signed. I mean, for it to have taken this long, it's not. They feel that the time lapse is too much, and they need him to put his assent or his signature to the bill as quickly as possible.
Well, I mean, I can hear somebody addressing the crowd there in the background. But Femi Adesina's argument is that, look, Section 58, subsection 4 of the Constitution is very clear. The president still has enough time to March 1. But the people, the protesters who are saying he must sign today, they are quoting the Electoral Act. And the Electoral Act, cannot override the Constitution. I don't know whether it's possible to get one of the leaders of the protest to speak to us so that we'll get a direct feel of what the demands are.
Okay, I can get one of the protesters, Samson Itodo, one of the leaders, Yaiga Africa, who has been in the forefront pushing for this signature. But he is right now addressing the crowd. So as soon as he's done, I'll get him to talk to us on the specific demands that civil society groups are, putting forward to the president. Just give me a few minutes. I'll get him across as soon as he's done with his address.
What is the security situation like? I hope nobody is harassing anybody. The security agents, are they allowing them to exercise their right to protest and speak?
Okay, so we have all the security agencies here. We have the police, we have road safety, the parastatals, that's the road safety, paramilitary rather. They're all stationed just watching the people. Nobody's being harassed. We are just free doing what we are doing. They're just watching to ensure that there's no outbreak of, violence. But they are not harassing anyone. Everything's being done peacefully at this point in time.
To assent to any bill or withhold its assent. We noted that. We're not oblivious of that provision. But why we raised the issue of immediate assent
Well, welcome back to the morning show. There you have on the screen the head of Yaga Africa addressing members of the 26 civil society organizations that have gathered this morning at the Unity Fountain in Abuja to protest what they consider to be the delay on the part of President Buhari in granting his assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022.
That clause 28 of the bill provides that INEC needs to issue notice of election. And so we drew the attention of the president and urged him, to assent to the bill. And it's based on that we are staging this action today to once again reiterate our call and urge the president, to assent to the bill. If he assents to the bill today, it means INEC will issue notice of election and the date for the 2023 elections will not be changed or will not be altered. And then there will be clarity for everyone, both political parties to prepare, civil society and citizens will have clarity on a particular piece of legislation that will govern the elections. So please, this is the reason why we are hosting this activity. And we want to thank all the partners, who have supported this process, everyone who has come out today as to perform your civic duty and your responsibility. We want to let you know that the pressure that we are exerting as citizens is being felt, and we are receiving, positive response. So don't think the fact that you've come out today is a waste of your time and your effort. Just note that whatever action you take as a citizen is yielding results. And if the president's spokesman, as he said on a TV interview this morning, that the president will assent to the bill in a matter of days, if he does that, in a matter of hours, whether 24 or 48 or 72, we cannot tell. But so long as the president assents to the bill, be rest assured, and we know that he will assent to the bill, please have comfort that every effort you've put into this is yielding results, that it's not a waste, and as you have performed your civic duty, we also want to urge you to sustain this, that beyond, this electoral bill, in case you have not registered, you have not collected your PVC, please go and register, collect your PVC, and then prepare to vote at the election. It's still in furtherance of, that civic duty and responsibility. Having said that, I will invite some civil society leaders to also speak on some of the issues that we have raised, and then we will continue from there. Let me start by inviting Madam Ene Obi, who is the Country Director of Action Aid, who will speak, and then we invite Comrade, Chief, Doctor, Professor, Activist, you call him anything, Awa Musarraf Sanjani, who wears so many hats, the Executive Director of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, the Country Director of Transparency International, the Chair of the Transition Monitoring Group, another coalition of over 400 organizations who are involved in election observation, board member or board chair of Amnesty International. There are just too many titles that he has. So after Madam Ene, we invite Raf, and then we invite Yemi, and invite Grace Jerry to speak in that order.
Nigerian people! I want to join my colleagues in saying thank you so much. Thanks to the media. You have been a worthy partner. I want to say a big thank you for the struggle so far to the media. Can we give them a round of applause? The media, I know some of your hands are tied because you are holding, the placard. But I just want to appreciate each and every one of you. Leading to even this morning, the media has had a stomp for the bill. And what we're asking the president to do is sign the bill. He rejected this bill how many times? 5 times. This is the 6th time. We are calling on him as a father of the nation to sign the bill. I want you to know that each and every one of you is responsible for upholding and defending the Constitution of Nigeria. A constitution is not just one person's responsibility. We know that more than 400 members of the National Assembly have passed this bill, and it's still sometimes we also don't know where the problems are. But because each time the bill is returned to the National Assembly, they add another clause before it goes to the president. So is this a conspiracy against the Nigerian people? Is this a conspiracy to rig elections? But we acknowledge the speedy way in which the National Assembly passed this bill in 2022. And we are urging the president to do the same manner. You know, we are not speaking so much today, but to ask him to sign the bill. For we are not, what do we say to president? Sign the bill. What do we say to the president? Sign the bill. What do we say to the president? Sign the bill. What do we say to the National Assembly? Sign the bill. If he doesn't sign, or to override, to veto, but what we are even saying now, the president made a promise to Nigerians on the national television. A promise is a promise. And so right now, we need to watch it. We are happy that Femi Adesina has said this morning that the president is going to sign the bill in hours. We are not here to claim the glory. We are not here to claim the glory for being... The media has been here. The media has been there from the beginning. Almost all radio stations, all television stations, very distinguished personality in the media, they have worked so hard. Just give us the bill. As you give us the bill, the electoral umpires, if you give people without credibility, they are going to also flood the elections. And so give us the bill, give us responsible people who will be the umpires. And all of those who are saboteurs in INEC, we will also be watching out of them. What do we tell the president? I want to appreciate persons with disability. All of you who managed to come in here this morning, and all civil society organizations for coming here, I want to especially say a big thank you to the security. We applied to the security. We went to the police yesterday. They honored us. You can see they are maintaining law and order in this environment. We are patriotic Nigerians. We are told today you cannot march because of one B and C. Today we are not marching. We have made our views known. Another day, we will also apply to you. When we are marching, we will march with you side by side because we are law-abiding Nigerians. We do not want distortion. We are not disobedient Nigerians. You say the labors of our heroes past should not be in vain. We are here to ensure that the labors of our heroes past will not be in vain. So, Mr. President, sign the bill.
Great Nigerian people! Great Nigerian people! Greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the Nigerian people! I greet you all. Nigerians have spoken. Nigerians have demanded. Nigerians want action. Nigerians are tired of electoral fraud. Nigerians are tired of electoral manipulation. Nigerians are tired of the absence of electoral integrity. Nigerians want inclusion. Nigerians are saying that women must be allowed to participate fully in the electoral process. Nigerians are saying that people with disability must no longer be marginalized. Nigerians are saying that money hijackers of the Nigerian politics is no longer welcome. People who have stolen our commonwealth, that they are now bringing to hijack political space in the country. This bill is saying that no to that. Therefore, we are shocked and surprised that a government that shouted for 7 years about transparency and accountability in the governance is finding it difficult to take a historic step to ensure that one of the major corruption that happens in this country is electoral corruption, political corruption. And the only way to cure that is to have a legal framework that will guarantee Nigerians the right to participate, the right to demand for accountability. And therefore, We are urging Mr. President to fulfill his commitment, his promise of leading a government that he said he was going to do it transparently to ensure that the electoral process is reformed, addressed, and corrected all those analog opportunities that they have been using to perpetuate fraud. The consequences of this, besides what Sam has mentioned, is that we are going to return to analog situation where people, they will be bringing ballot boxes into their houses and thumbprint, and that has alienated a lot of Nigerians from putting interest in the electoral process. Many people don't want to vote, but we are saying that this time around, enough is enough. We are calling Mr. President to, as a matter of urgency with all the patriotism, quickly sign this bill today, now, and now. Finally, it will not stop here. Even after the signing of the Electoral Act, Nigerians, civil society are determined to ensure that there's a total compliance of the law. It's not just enough to have a legal framework, but to ensure that it is also put into practice. Therefore, we assure you, as patriotic, responsible Nigerians, we will continue to ensure that the electoral process is transparent, and it is going to be that, nothing that, no negotiation. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope that we should continue with this struggle. I will now call my veteran comrade, Yemi, to also say a word. Thank you.
Enough is what? Enough is what? Enough. Again, just to re-echo the statements that we have, thank you to the media and thank you for everyone for coming out. When Samson was saying the benefits of the bill, one thing he forgot to mention was the fact that the use of technology now becomes enshrined in law. We know in the past they will say, oh, card reader is not legal, it's not in the law, so it cannot be used as evidence in court cases. But this new law, Electoral Bill 2022, recognizes INEC's prerogative to use technology. So BVAS, whatever other technology that INEC wants to use, they can use it. Number one. Number two, as of last year, we all knew when election was going to be. February 18, March 4, no be so. February 18, March 4, no be so. If the president does not sign the bill today, by tomorrow morning, when we wake up, we will say, when is our presidential elections? We don't know. It's sometime next year. That's what we'll be saying. So the fact that INEC had been proactive, they announced dates, I think 10 years in advance, and people can plan. We know when our elections are, we can plan towards it. But if the president does not sign the bill today, that then becomes, it's jeopardized really. And I mean, as someone said, it's almost a sabotage of the process, because we've been, the opportunity or the ability for INEC to plan, for citizens to plan, for the media to plan, has been taken away. And lastly, you know, the statement that the presidency issued yesterday, again, to just reiterate, we're patriotic Nigerians. This is not about trying to make trouble or anything. As Samson said, should in case the president is not aware that if he doesn't sign today, by tomorrow we don't have concrete dates for our election. And it's not something we need as a country right now. ASU is on strike. There's fuel scarcity. There's adulterated fuel. There's just one thing, there's insecurity all over the place. Can we just at least, the one that we can plan for? Violence against women. I mean, the list of issues are endless that all of us here are working on. Can we not add yet another one? So we can focus on having elections that are free, that are fair, that are credible. This postponement, we should stop this thing one day. Some parties are still struggling with their conventions today, tomorrow, next month, who knows? But let's not make that a Nigerian problem. Nigerians had election dates, they were clean, they were clear. If the president signs today, it remains that. What do we want the president to do? What are we asking? What are we asking? Thank you.
The civil society organizations out there at the Unity Fountain in Abuja.